This video was inspired by Karsten Rundquist. You probably know me as a Lego fan, but I'm also a huge film nerd. I watch films constantly, and I try to pick up something new about cinematography every single time. If that sounds like you, if you love films or just curious, then you're in the right place. Also, feel free to check out my Letterboxd. All right, let's dive in. I kicked off the month with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I had seen some scenes on TikTok, so I went in with pretty accurate expectations. And yeah, it was fun. Late night good vibes kind of movie. You'll enjoy it at the moment. But if you've seen 5 high school comedies from the 90s, you already know where it's going. It's the definition of a 7 out of 7 film. It delivers what it promises but doesn't go further. Still, a solid watch.
I guess that's my dad.
I love Hitchcock. Every time I see one of his films, I feel like I'm watching a magic trick unfold, and Rope is no exception. It's only a little over an hour long, and the plot is super simple. 2 men commit a murder and hide the body in a chest during a dinner party. But the tension? Incredible. I didn't look away once. I felt like I was the one with a secret to hide. Sure, a couple extra scenes might have deepened the story, but the film is lean, tight, and so well crafted, it doesn't even matter. I finally go to see Sergio Leone's filmography with a fistful of dollars. The Wild West aesthetic, the dusty atmosphere, the silent, mysterious protagonist, it's all there. I had fun, even though some character motivations felt a bit thin. Like, sure, you're a cowboy, but why that choice? Still, it's iconic for a reason, and I'm looking forward to finishing the rest of the trilogy. This was my first Milos Forman film, and wow, Fireman's Ball felt like watching a piece of Czech history. It's set at a small-town fireman's ball that descends into awkward chaos, and the best part, it stars actual villagers, not actors. That gives the film this raw-style realism. It doesn't pretend to be profound, but that's exactly why it hits. It's about people just being people, flawed but funny. Jordan Peele cooked with this one. Get Out had this underlying discomfort from the very beginning, like something was just off, and then it unravels. Daniel Kaluuya is incredible in it. He carries the whole thing on his shoulders. I wouldn't quite give it a full sacred 5 stars, maybe just because I liked Nope a little bit more, but this is still a near-perfect thriller and a must-watch.
Chris was just telling me how he felt much more comfortable with my being here.
I avoided John Wick for years because I thought it was going to be brainless action, just a Kill Bill knockoff. But I was wrong. Every gunshot, every punch, every headlock feels like it means something. The motivations are strong and super emotional. I was invested from the first act. Plus, the choreography's amazing. I can't believe I waited this long. I love Billy Wilder, and The Apartment is a peak. It's funny, sad, romantic, and cynical, all at once. The story of a lonely guy trying to climb the corporate ladder by letting his bosses use his apartment for affairs is the kind of satire that still works today. I personally prefer Ace in The Hole, but I completely understand why this one's his most beloved. I watched the first 3 Final Destination films, and honestly, not bad. The first one had decent characters, but the story felt clunky. The third one had worse characters, but a cooler concept. The whole thing with the photographs was actually brilliant. The second one, though, man, the big accident was cool, but everything after that felt tacky and thrown together. Still, if you want mindless fun, where people die in the weirdest ways possible, that's exactly the film. So I watched Nowhere, late at night, and I was not in the right headspace. And maybe that's the only way you should watch it. It's chaotic, loud, surreal, and straight up weird. It doesn't try to explain itself. There's a mini Godzilla, and he is pretty chill. There are teens doing God knows what. It felt more like a fever dream than a narrative, but strangely, I vibed with it. I didn't understand it, but I think that's kind of the point. My humor's broken, I know. But The Dictator had me laughing like an idiot. It's not smart humor, it's not subtle, but it's relentlessly funny if you're into absurdity. My rule with comedies: if it makes me laugh, it gets a good rating. And this one did, over and over again.
Get set!
Shout out to the TikTok account Ghostbox. She hyped Donnie Darko so much I had to watch it, and I'm glad I did. The story is strange and kind of confusing, but in a rewarding way. It keeps you thinking. Jake Gyllenhaal is absolutely incredible in here, and the soundtrack, chef's kiss. It's one of those movies that stays in your head for days. I finally watched Lilo and Stitch, and it's super charming. I'm not a big fan of the alien stuff, especially near the end, but the way it portrays Hawaiian culture and sisterhood is beautiful. Plus, I love 2D animation, and this film reminded me how much personality it brings. It's a comfort watch for sure. The Death of a Unicorn was just Jurassic World, but instead of an island, there was nature reservation. Rich people instead of tourists and unicorns instead of dinosaurs. Somehow it ends up feeling mid. The execution was just too fast, too shallow. There were no long, suspenseful moments. No time to really feel afraid or invested. I don't hate it, and I might rewatch it for the chaos alone, but I expected more. Columbus is visually gorgeous. Symmetry, the stillness, the framing, but everything else fell flat. The characters felt robotic, like no one acts like this. The dialogue unnatural and the relationship so forced. I don't get the hype at all. It felt like someone made a beautiful empty box and forgot to put anything inside. I thought Before Sunrise would be another sugary rom-com. Instead, I got one of the most honest portrayals of a fleeting romance I've ever seen. The dialogue flows like real conversation, and the chemistry between the leads is just perfect. It's unrealistic in premise, sure, but in emotion, it's incredibly real. I was totally sold. Good Kids was one of those why not movies. Nothing special, but it works. You've seen the story before. Smart kids trying to finally let loose before adulthood hits, but it's told well, and it doesn't overdo it. The acting is average, and there is like no sound in the entire film. Probably best enjoyed during a sleepover or lazy weekend, and that's okay. I Like Movies is about a high school kid obsessed with cinema, trying to figure out life and himself. The emotional tone is honest and very personal. You can tell it comes from a real place. But at times the main character feels less passionate and more entitled, almost gatekeepy and annoying. And the feel-good payoff at the end felt a bit too cheap. I still liked it, but it could have been far more better. What the hell did I just watch? In the best possible way. Oldboy starts like a revenge film and spirals into something much deeper and darker. The story is insane, the visuals are stunning, and the action scenes, iconic. I came in expecting Korean John Wick and left feeling emotionally wrecked and stunned by this masterpiece. Fully deserved 5 stars rating, so... I closed out the month with Tarzan. Beautiful animation, killer soundtrack, and that classic Disney storytelling. But what I really loved was how it tackled the idea of identity, of not fitting in, even when you're trying your best. It's not just about swinging on vines, it's about finding where you belong. So that's everything I watched in May. Let me know if you liked this kind of content. Drop a comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.